So the next question comes from Susanna. And she asks, how do you make relationships with family work? I always get triggered and feel misunderstood, and it takes me a long time to recover. I've even tried leaving the country, but it hasn't helped. I've tried that myself, Susanna. That's why I'm laughing. It's a great question. Now, I remember so fondly a great story where I was, I have this wonderful mentor called Jerry. And I remember back about 10, 11 years ago now, I did this personal development retreat because he said to me, you've got to really work on your relationship with your father. And I was like, didn't really get it. So I went to this went to this kind of personal development relationship type of retreat. And I learned so much about my relationship dynamics with my father. And I thought, oh my God, I think I get it. And I came back from that and I phoned him up. I said, I so understand what you mean. I've got it. I've dealt with it. I have now healed all my stuff with my father in an instant, in this weekend. And he just went, go down and visit your parents. And I'm like, what, this weekend? I said, yeah, just say hello to them. I said, yeah, I'd love to. Now I'm feeling this renewed love for them and all of that. And so I go down for the weekend and I knock on the door. And there my dad opens up, and then suddenly I just feel totally and utterly triggered. And it's like, it's worse. It's worse. When I thought it couldn't get any worse, and I thought I'd healed it all, in fact, everything became even more amplified. And I went back and I phoned up my mentor. I said, what on earth happened? He says, family is like Mount Everest. It's the last mountain to climb. Don't try to climb it first when you haven't first trained the smaller foothills. The foothills are like strangers. Friends, and friends of course are the family you choose. But family ultimately is the hardest mountain to climb. It's the last one you climb, not the first. I learned a powerful lesson that day because I realized that our work with our family is ongoing. For most of us it takes an entire lifetime and we never really get complete with it. We just do the best that we can. And that's actually what I've done, and my family relationships have improved dramatically over the years. To the point where it's not really recognizable to where it was, and I'm really proud of that. And yet, am I complete with it all? No, I'm not. But then I don't feel any less of a human being by not. I think it's an important acknowledgement to realize there's always that work to be done, because I notice that I do want an even better relationship with my father and with my mother. I always want to encourage and grow that intimacy and that connection. That's a natural longing to kind of continue that. So with that said, the reason I'm saying that is because I really want you to be gentle with yourself and take each time you're with them, with your family, and in each time when you do something and it feels like it works, just a little bit, celebrate it. Be gentle with yourself when you go into a place of dismay or you feel triggered or your stuff comes up. A lot of the time, because you said, oh God, it takes ages for me to recover. Well, usually the recovery is not that they've hurt you or that they've triggered you, is that you're in judgment that somehow it's not okay that your relationship is that way. In other words, the thing that pains most of us is not what actually happened. It's the story we tell about what happened. So therefore, something happens with our family, we're there, we're at dinner with them, something happens and we leave feeling really shitty with ourselves. Well, if it takes an entire day to recover, it's usually because we have a judgment that somehow our relationship with our parents are bad or our family is not okay, and that somehow we're defective and you're not enough and you feel kind of unworthy. So it's our judgment about the moment that causes us the suffering, not the actual moment itself. So if we can just allow ourselves to feel the pain, then be really gentle with ourselves, and then celebrate every single success, we're going to shorten that period of suffering after a time of disconnect with our family, for example. And what I would encourage you to do, Susanna, is practice passing the salt. And what I mean by that is lower your expectations a little bit when it comes to climbing Mount Everest. Imagine you're sitting around dinner with your family, and imagine metaphorically that you have every member of your family there, your brothers, your sisters, aunts, uncles, mother and father, grandparents, for example. And you notice that there are some family members that are easier to get on with than other family members. Now, the whole family's there, all with their dynamics, but can you at least pass the salt? Can you ask that grumpy, irritating uncle, "Uncle, would you pass me the salt, please?" And then he passes you the salt in a sarcastic, irritating way. Can you receive that salt with love and with humor? I'm talking about that simplicity. Let's not make this hard. Let's not go for the big kill. Let's just pass the salt. Can we at least pass the salt and do that joyfully and do that from a place of centeredness and power? And then just celebrate and say, wow, I received the salt. I received the salt, great. Didn't I do well receiving that salt? It didn't plug me in at all. You might think I'm being a little bit ridiculous, but I've noticed that it's doing it in that way, that it grows, and then each success grows on another success, and I then develop a new type of wiring in my brain that reinforces the fact that my relationship with my family is good and healthy and that it works, and then helps me attract more of that in my life. Now, there's a lot more to this whole family dynamic. I mean, I'm making it very, very short for the purpose of this video, and so then I hope that this short little message uplifts you and helps you in some way. And please share this. Please offer this to your friends and family. Leave a comment below if you've liked it, and of course, put it on Facebook or Twitter. And of course, if you want to learn more about this, come along to one of our Love, Relationships and You events, which you can find more about that at loverelationshipsandyou.com. All the best, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.